Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on day 2 of the 2022 NCAA softball regionals. So, what happened in day 2? Well, day 2 is the day that they start eliminating teams. Half of the field is going to be eliminated. It's supposed to be eliminated today. And it took a little while to eliminate. By like not like 10 o'clock. Only a third of the teams were eliminated. All of the teams that can be eliminated, that is. There's 64 teams now. We're down 48. Then they're down to 46, and I think like 44. But it was like 11 o'clock. It was pretty late. And then there's teams that are dropping like crazy. And I don't think the last game ended till like 1 o'clock in the morning, which is insane. You know? Because there's so many weather delays. There's like weather delay in Orlando, Florida. They got one game in. They got a little bit of, then they had a delay. Then they started up the second game. And then they had a delay, and it was all day delay. It was just crazy. And then they had like delay in like Gainesville, Florida, which is the Florida Gators region. They had delay there, and it was just chaos there. But they only were able to get, the game was supposed to start like 2 o'clock. They finally got it in at like way late. And then there's going to be a game 5 and a game 60 in that region if a game 7 were to happen. Because one team would be playing 3 games in a row. They're going to call that off on Monday. Probably Monday, ESPNU have it on. Same with Michigan. Same if Michigan were to win whoever's playing, I guess. Because Villanova's South Dakota State's still going on. That's in progress. But they're going to play game 5 and the rest of game 4. And they're going to finish game 5. They're going to play game 5 and game 6. And then if there's a team that wins, play game 5 and 6 and win both, then then game 7 will be Monday as well. ESPN probably. It's just crazy, man. Crazy. And there was more like weather delays, like those are long weather delays. There's also a long weather delay in Durham, North Carolina, the Duke region. UMBC Georgia had a long weather delay. They're supposed to start, and they got it ready to start, and then the weather delay happened. And then it just postponed and push back. And then it was Georgia and Liberty played for a long while. Played at like 11 o'clock local time. It's crazy, man. But there's also some standards in that field with ranked teams going down. That's right, ranked teams are going down. Or the seed teams going down. There was Clemson. Clemson didn't go down, but they played against a really tough Auburn team. And I had Clemson in my actual predictions. I thought Clemson would lose to both Auburn and Louisiana. I really thought so. But they didn't. They barely beat Auburn, 1-0. And then Louisiana ended up being Auburn the second time they played. Because Louisiana did lose to Auburn the first game they played. It's not so Louisiana's turn on Clemson. Which I could see Louisiana, making it tough like Clemson, like they did against Clemson. I could see it, And then we have a tough I thought it was a kind of a stunner at them. Arizona and San Diego State was a really good one. That was like high scoring. High scoring. and that one. But Arizona State managed to pull out. And then in the elimination games, LSU lost to Cal State. They played San Diego State and lost 10-5. And then they played Cal State Fullerton and lost. And then Cal State Fullerton ended up losing to San Diego State. Now it's a rematch. Arizona State, San Diego State in the regional final. You know? So. But the upset. But there's some upsets. There was an upset today. Texas beat Washington. Sent Washington to the lose bracket. One of the lose bracket games, and they had to play a third game in the lose bracket. And they did. Now they have to play Texas again in the game 6. They have to win 2 in a row now to go to the championship. To go to the Super Regionals. So the odds are in Texas' favor. Because they just have to win one out of 2 games they played. They won the first game, they don't have to play a second game. But if they don't win the first game, they can win the second one, and they'll be fine. So, Alabama ended up losing a stunner to Stanford. Stanford beat Alabama 8-0. And their only wins were against Chattanooga. They had a 3-0 win over Chattanooga. They should have, they really should have run with Chattanooga. They were playing pretty good, but they weren't playing their best. But they squeaked over Chattanooga. Then they got mauled by Stanford 8-0. And then they beat Chattanooga in their elimination game late last night. It was about 9:30 time, my time, Central Time. They started playing, and they did. About 9. I guess it was about 9:30, which is pretty late, and they ended up playing, and they beat Chattanooga again, eliminate Chattanooga. So now it is Stanford, Alabama in the champ final for the regional bracket. Then Virginia Tech had a comeback in them. Virginia Tech actually had a chance to win. They were winning over Kentucky. They were up. It was 4-0 going in the 7th inning. And then Kentucky got 5 runs. They make it a 5-4 lead. And that's all Kentucky would need. And they win. And now Kentucky, and then Virginia Tech struggled against Miami, Ohio. They did end up beating Miami, Ohio late last night. The game started at like 9:30 my time. Like 10:30 p.m. local time over in Blacksburg. So that is really, really late. It's pretty late, but they ended up playing game 5, and they did end up winning against Miami, Ohio. And then so now it's a rematch. Kentucky and Virginia Tech. Winner moves to Super Regions or of the tournament. But Virginia Tech has won 2 in a row against Kentucky. Kentucky just won 1 out of the next 2 games. And then what's the other team? Missouri. Missouri ended up losing to Auburn. Or not Auburn, Arizona. Missouri ended up losing to Arizona. And by a couple, like 2-0. And they ended up beating Missouri State 2-0 to move on to the regional final. So it is Arizona and Missouri. So yeah. So let's see if Arizona can still move on to the regional final or the championship. We'll see though. And then we'll see. There are some regional finals. Obviously, there are game 6s. But the team that's in the winner's bracket could just lose game 6. So it's just that way. But yesterday there was 4 stars, 4 big time stars, and there's also another big star, McNeese, and that being Notre Dame again. So it's Northwestern McNeese, but the West and Northwestern McNeese. Those are in a row, so not going to be impressive, but I mean, there's some regions that, I'm probably going to be upset, like the Gaines region, Florida. Florida's like McNeese, the winner of Wisconsin Georgia Tech. Probably not going to be much of info there in Gainesville. But what's intriguing though is if they do end up playing the game 60, which they should, but they have to play game 4, finish game 4, and they have to continue game 5, and finish game 6 in Gainesville, in Orlando, Florida region, UCF region. I'm kind of intrigued because UCF did beat Michigan in 3-2 and 11 in a much better UCF team. So I'm kind of wondering if UCF can win that, or will Michigan win game 6? I'm kind of intrigued by that, if they do end up playing it today. Because there has been a lot of weather in Florida. There's a couple weather delays in Gainesville, Florida. Tallahassee Regional. Gainesville Regional. All rain delays. And there's a rain delay in Durham, North Carolina. The Missouri region had a little bit of a weather delay. And then, Durham, North Carolina had a weather delay. So, there's not even no rain delays in stuff. And then I believe that, Arkansas region did have a weather delay as well. So yeah, they're not immune to weather delays. You're not immune to weather delays. So yeah. And then, speaking of stunners, I forgot to mention this, that South Florida ended up losing without Georgina Cork, which I was kind of surprised that Georgina Cork was not pitching. She did not play against Florida State, and I was kind of shocked that she didn't pitch. And then she ended up coming in to pitch. And then they finally ended up holding her. Once they got 6, she didn't start. I believe she did start, but they did end up getting a couple runs off. She came in, or whoever the reliever was, and they did run rule 8-0. And then Mississippi State, they didn't start her against Mississippi State, so then something was up, and they found out she was hurt, so they didn't start her. So their term was done, and there was bracket. I picked them to be runners up, and they were about to be runners up if they didn't. If they didn't, there's Georgina Court just didn't get an injury. But oh well. And then, I guess that's about it. I mean, I really don't have any more stunners for you to talk about. I talked about seed teams and unseed team and all the late night games. And I'll tell you, there's gonna be some games starting right now at 9. There's actually gonna be at Eastern. There's gonna be the finish of Villanova South Dakota State, which is kind of gonna be interesting. Like, you're already in the middle of a game, maybe even in the middle of an inning. So, I mean, I don't know how that's gonna, derail both teams heading into the rest of this game, and then maybe even next game they play, or is it gonna derail them, or are they gonna be full, full energy, ready to go, a clean slate, or is this just gonna be that residual effect from game 4? I'm interested to see that. I'm also interested to see all the regional finals today. Stanford, Alabama. Game 6 is starting at 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern. And there's going to be some Game 6 is on ESPN, SC Network, EC Network, and ESPN 2. ESPN 2 Slam all day until 7 p.m. Eastern. Or 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern until NHL hockey season. Then ESPNU is going to have them from 3:30 until the end of the night. Mostly Game 7s. But maybe there is a Game 6 that gets sprinkled on there. Who knows? And then SC is going to have all SC teams. Game 6s. There's going to be 2 Game 6s shown. They might show another game. There's another Game 6 they could show. Or they might just hold off and see if they're going to see, depending on what happens, if they need to show Game 7. Most likely it seems like they might show Game 7 of Oregon, Arkansas. If Game 7 were to happen in that series, they're going to show that. Otherwise, there is another SC team that they can show. They can show in Game 6. Otherwise, they're just showing Game 7. And then ACC is going to show Clemson, Louisiana, noon Eastern. And they're going to have a bunch of... there's a couple ACC teams that are playing right now in the regional finals, but we'll see though. And they're going to show the ACC teams in Game 7. Some of these teams, like Georgia Tech yesterday, there's an excuse to just show Florida. Because they had to show it because it featured an ACC team, Georgia, and they had to have a game that featured an ACC team. They really want to show it because it's Florida. I don't blame ESPN for that. And then the Chattanooga game, the only reason why, because it's so late at night, and it was Alabama. Come on, it's Alabama. Come on, everyone wants to watch Alabama play softball. You know that. You're not good enough, they do. You're not good Chattanooga. You're good enough, they do. And then, yeah, that's about it. So, and then the rest of and then there's lacrosse quarterfinals today, men's quarterfinals till like 4:30 Eastern. So after that, then they're gonna show softball all day from 3:30. That's mostly Game 7s. And they're gonna show like some Game 6s, like 3 Game 6s on ESPN 2. They're in 2. And then they're gonna show, maybe they could show a Game 7 at 3:30, which I think they might be waiting for. They're gonna show Game 6 or Game 7, depending on what's going on. We'll see though. But yeah, so it's not much to say. So this video here. So next time, thank you everyone, and I'm gonna share with you my thoughts on day 3 of the 2022 NCAA softball regionals when I am finished with. On day 3, it's finished. And then, if there happens to be day 4, I will share with you my thoughts on day 4. But day 4 is not going to be very long. And probably neither is day 3 one. Maybe day 3 will be a little bit longer, but it might be all the regional final teams win. But I'm sure there's going to be a Game 7 somewhere, with like Virgin, with, like Missouri or Alabama or Washington. Washington did play tough against Texas until late in the game. And same with Virginia Tech against Kentucky. They played well. They just collapsed in the 7th. So there could be Game 7 there. Game 7 Texas Washington. Could be Tay. Maybe if Alabama plays well against Stanford, but Stanford just destroyed them. Really destroyed them, so I don't know about that. But there could be a Game 7 one we didn't expect, So, next time, take care.